This was supposed to be a very ordinary flight.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Oh, now there's aircraft declaring maydays because they're getting low on fuel.
I was supposed to be visiting 3 regional airports on what was forecast to be a good weather day.
This is really not looking good, I've got to be honest. What am I going to do?
But instead, this turned out to be the most complex flight I've done since getting back into aviation a few months ago.
Okay, so just for information, they've had an accident apparently at Moorabbin, shut until 0215.
Oh goodness me, what is happening today? In hindsight, maybe not a good day to go flying.
And all of this happened because I was determined to continue with one of my pointless aviation challenges. This week I've been thinking a lot about pointless challenges. I've been worrying a little bit if some of these challenges that we do as pilots, especially us YouTube pilots who make content with aviation and put it here on the internet, of whether it is just a little bit pointless and we're only doing it just to generate content for our channels. So today's video is going to be a lesson in hypocrisy, I think, as I explain why pointless challenges are good whilst also doing a pointless challenge, because I'm going to today fly to 3 airports that I have absolutely no reason to go to apart from making this video for YouTube.
Echo Yankee Zulu, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Echo Yankee Zulu. Alright, let's go. Full power. Engine looks good. Airspeed should be increasing on both, which it is, so I will continue with this takeoff. .500p capsies are now available. I made my left turn and I'm just going to climb us up to 2,500 just for this first leg of the flight. Switch over to Melbourne. I'm going to go VFR on my squawk code. And we're levelling off now at 2,500 feet. So it was back in 2021 when I set up my own personal pointless pilot exercises because I wanted to land at every certified airport in my home state of Victoria. Now there are 43 certified aerodromes in Victoria, and right now, at the time of recording, I've landed at 27 of them. Because a few things got in the way from 2021. I mean, we were just coming out of COVID at the time. I obviously had my medical issues, so I haven't been flying for a couple of years. But I thought now that I'm flying again, I could use that pointless desire to fly at to land at every aerodrome as a bit of a motivation for me to get out and fly, but also as a good excuse just to practice. So that's exactly what I'm doing today when I said I'm going to 3 airports. I'm planning for 3. We'll see how many we actually do, but there are 3 on the list which are relatively close to each other. Avalon approach, Cirrus Echo Yankee Zulu is 15 miles to your east, 2,500. We'll be tracking overhead at 2,500 and then to the northwest. Estimate overhead time 18.
Echo Yankee Zulu, Avalon approach.
Alright, we've left Avalon behind us, so I'm going to switch us over.
Melbourne coastal traffic, Warrior Delta X-ray, 2 miles
back to Melbourne.
Of Lebanon.
And what I can do here is climb us up to 4,500, which I'm going to try, but it'll be interesting to see if we get up there with the clouds, so we'll see how high we can get. But it does look like a fair amount of cloud up ahead, so we shall see what that looks like when we get closer to it.
Yes, that's what I've planned for. But clouds too low at the moment. Okay, stand by.
There's someone else out there struggling with the cloud base as well. Alright, but for the moment, let's fly the plane, sort the engine out, that links the cruise, and then see what the clouds are like when I get a little bit closer to them. These clouds are definitely building up in front of me now. I think the early morning fog that was down on the ground is lifting up, but it's not dissipated, it's just lifted up to a certain level, it's stopped. So I am interested to see how this goes. I'm going to go over the top of them because I know that I can come back in this direction and it is clear. If this is a localized layer, I can just fly over the top of it and it could be clear on the other side. If it continues all the way in front of me, then I'm going to need to make another decision because I'm not IFR today, I'm just flying VFR. And I could upgrade to IFR, but then there's no instrument approach at the first airfield that I want to go to And with the clouds this low, based on the way that we do it here in Australia, with the area forecast that I can use, I wouldn't be able to just descend to lowest safe altitude. I'd still be in the clouds. There's no instrument approach to get me any lower. So going IFR into this particular airport today in these conditions is not going to be possible either. So we'll see what happens. This is actually going to be quite interesting. On top, it will be nice, but then how do I get down is the question.
QA 1942, contact center 128.5.
I'm going to climb. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got plenty of time before I get to St. Arnaud. I've still got another 28 minutes, so I'm going to climb. See what it's like on top. Well, we are well and truly VFR on top now. But again, I know my escape plan is to go back if required. Worst case, I can also ask for an IFR upgrade and just basically go back to Moorabbin via Avalon.
Ambulance 320 request.
Actually, this is really not looking good. I've got to be honest. I did not expect there to be as much cloud as there is here. Well, okay, all I can do now is just see, but I can't sit on top of this cloud forever. I've got to make a decision at some point. All right, let's run through the scenario. What do we got? We've got 24 minutes until we get to our destination, 14 minutes until the top of descent. And as it stands at the moment, I am just on top of solid cloud now. To be honest, even though I'm flying VFR on top at the moment, you can't just sit on top of the clouds and truck along forever just doing this VFR. I really do feel like, I mean, there's clouds all the way ahead of me as well.
322, center, descend to flight level 190.
What am I going to do?
497 Delta, clear sleep control airspace on descent.
Alright, I don't think I've got a choice. I think...
Delta 171, contact center.
I think I have to turn around.
24-0, Delta 171.
So let me sort to Melbourne and let me see if I can upgrade to IFR. So where are we first of all? Melbourne Centre, Echo Yankee Zulu, IFR upgrade request.
Echo Yankee Zulu Centre.
Echo Yankee Zulu, we're at Cirrus SR22 15 miles north of Ballarat, currently VFR on top. We're not going to be able to get into our destination, so we're going to turn back to Moorabbin. Request upgrade IFR tracking ESDIG Avalon Moorabbin 7000.
Okay, Zulu, roger, stand by.
Okay, now we see what they say. Hopefully they can give us an upgrade. I'll climb us up 500 feet just to get us onto the standard level going back to the east. But now we wait.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, squawk 0577.
0577, Echo Yankee Zulu.
King Zulu, there's no report for traffic to track via ESDIG Moorabbin, ESDIG Avalon Moorabbin at 7000.
Copy that, we'll now turn around to track ESDIG Avalon Moorabbin 7000. Thank you very much, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Yankee Zulu in identified, verified level.
Currently maintaining 6,500, we'll climb up to 7, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Yankee Zulu, yep, no problems, and area QNH 1028.
1028, Echo Yankee Zulu. And I'm going to go ESDIG, enter, and we're going to activate that, and that should turn us around and turn the aircraft around. Excellent, that's step one done. Now what we can do in our flight plan...
Yep. Gotcha. Ambulance 316, when ready, descend via start to 9000 QNH 10, ambulance 16, sorry, just when ready, descend 9000 QNH.
So that's our flight plan set up. Now we're going to track to ESDIG, then Avalon, then Moorabbin. So now what I'm doing is just leaning the engine back out again because I just enriched the mixture to climb us up to 7,000 feet.
Okay, Yankee Zulu Centre.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, go ahead.
Okay, so just for information, they've had an accident apparently at Moorabbin, and it's currently NOTAM shut until 0215. Not too sure if that'll be extended or not, but that's just the current situation.
I appreciate the update, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, Zulu.
Okay, so.
Oh goodness me, what is happening today? This was probably, in hindsight, maybe not a good day to go flying. Well, first and foremost, obviously, we hope everybody is okay. Well, the good thing is, I have enough fuel to stay up here for several hours if required. So I can hopefully let that incident get sorted out at Moorabbin and then, well, go in once the airport's open again. I mean, the endurance at the moment, we've got, well, I could fly 767 more miles in this aircraft if I wanted to, which we're doing at a ground speed of 182 at the moment.
431, contact departures 118.9.
That's easily about 4 or 5 hours worth of fuel up here, and that's at cruise speed, so I can always back it off and sit in the hold if I need to. Wow, okay. There's a lot happening on this flight, way more than I was expecting. I guess the good thing about all this, though, is that this video is supposed to be about pointless flights, and the reason I was doing the pointless flights is for practice, but I guess at the end of the day I am getting some good practice here, so, you know, the objective for this flight, whilst the destination might not have been reached, the objective for this flight still has been reached, because this is very good contingency planning and what to do in the event of changes, which is obviously a huge part of aviation. I'm going to slow us right down, I think. Otherwise, I'm racing into Moorabbin with a tailwind at the moment. I've just got us down to 56% power. Normally this would be around sort of 75% power, but I've just really slowed us down now, and I'm going to try and get this ETA at Moorabbin sort of closer to 20 minutes past.
Moorabbin, critical information, Romeo. Operations restricted in the Moorabbin control zone due to an aerodrome emergency. Circuits not available. Delays can be expected for arrivals and departures until further notice.
Stephen's just texted me as well. He's letting me know that the reason why Moorabbin is closed at the moment is because of a crash, unfortunately. If they're not letting anybody into Moorabbin, there's no point me going all the way to Moorabbin and just kind of getting in the chaos of everybody there. So I think what I'm going to do is hold away from Moorabbin, let a little bit of time pass, and then see what it's like about getting back in. Echo Yankee Zulu, request to hold overhead Avalon at 7,000 just to let some of the issues at Moorabbin pass, and then once that's gone, to continue on.
Echo Yankee Zulu, you can probably expect that. I'll just transfer you to Melbourne Approach and they can sort it out for you.
Thank you, Echo Yankee Zulu. Because what a lot of other traffic will be doing is heading back to Moorabbin, realising they can't get into Moorabbin and holding nearby. Which is fair, you know, we have holding patterns, instrument approaches, places where you can hold there. But on a day like today, I know it's cloudy here, but as you saw when we left Moorabbin, it was clear blue skies. There's going to be a lot of other traffic coming in at that time, and I don't want to just put another aircraft in all of those other aircraft if I can help it. So I may as well hold, because I've got plenty of fuel and I'm in no rush. I'll hold out here, listen to Moorabbin, and then once it feels like it's settled down a little bit, then I'll continue on and see if I can get in.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, contact Avalon Approach 133.55, and they're aware of your holding request.
13355, and thanks for passing that on. Echo Yankee Zulu. Avalon Approach, Echo Yankee Zulu, are currently maintaining 7,000, looking for the hold over Avalon.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, you are cleared to Moorabbin by Avalon plan route 7,000. You're cleared to make the sector entry and hold over Avalon. Did you want to stay at 7,000 while you're in the hold?
Cleared to Moorabbin via Avalon 7,000 and cleared for the hold. And A-firm, yeah, we'll just remain at 7,000. We're going to listen out to Moorabbin, and once that's cleared up, then we'll descend and go in.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, thanks, and I will keep you updated if I hear anything on my side.
I appreciate that. Okay, Yankee Zulu. As I'm in the hold now, this is my second lap around the hold. This whole video about doing these pointless adventures, I was going to mention a couple of other channels who were doing, you know, similar things, these kind of objective-based adventures to give them a good excuse to go flying. I know I'm not going to achieve any of mine today, and this video has taken a bit of a turn, but I still want to mention two of them. The first is The channel's called Erin and Paul Fly. Erin and Paul basically spent a whole year building their own aircraft, and their objective is to fly to every one of the 50 states, the USA, in their aircraft, using it basically as, well, a bit like a road trip by air and just doing as much living out of the aircraft as they actually can. And the second one, there's a pilot in the US again called Sarah Daniels. She's another Cirrus pilot. She's looking to fly to every airfield in the whole of America, which I don't know how many that would be. I can only think it's hundreds at least, because she's up to, I think, airports something like 190 at the moment. She shoots like little Instagram and YouTube short videos about each one that she goes to, which is really interesting because you get to see a little bit more about the airfields themselves as well as the flying that she's doing. But those are just a couple of other people who are also, like me, enjoy the, I keep using the word pointless. It's not pointless. The point is that you're enjoying the little bits of happiness and fun along the way. I guess the objective, once you've done it, you've done it. And like, yeah, big deal. You've flown to every state, or you've flown to every airfield in Victoria, or you've flown around the world. I mean, nothing's going to change on the planet by you doing that, but the little bits of happiness that you pick up along the way, that's the reason why you're doing it.
Moorabbin Tower, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Chieftain 3POB, wind fuel.
Moorabbin Tower, Mayday, acknowledge, join downwind runway 35 left.
Join downwind 35 left. Take.
Moorabbin, tell information Sierra, runway 35 left only, all airborne operations, tower frequency 123.0. Runway 35 right, not available due to disabled aircraft.
Well, that's the 80s for Moorabbin now, so I wonder if they are getting ready to open the airport up again. The hard thing about this part now...
India Golf Tango, they just opened, they've only got one runway open, just 35 left. Are you ready for the approach?
Ready for the approach, you got it.
Yeah, the hard thing now is that everybody's going to be trying to go in at the same time. But...
All stations, Moorabbin Tower is now open again. The only available runway is 35 left.
290.
Moorabbin Tower,
Are you ready to return to Moorabbin now?
Hey firm, yeah, we can cancel the hold now and we can go in visual to Moorabbin with the descent. If you can get back to us, that'd be great. Thanks. Okay, Zulu.
Yankee Zulu, cancel the hold. Clear direct to Moorabbin, descend now to 5,000.
Cancel hold, direct Moorabbin 5,000, okay, Zulu. All right, this is good news. Good news. Go direct Moorabbin, descent to 5,000. All right, good. So the final part of this flight that we need to get through then is obviously, as it is with every flight, it's the landing, but this in particular, because now Moorabbin's down to one runway, lots of people coming at the same time, I'm going to keep slowing us down because there's no point me getting to Moorabbin right when everyone else is trying to get in. But slotting into the traffic, getting in, getting the landing done, getting clear of the runway safely, that's the final thing that we need to do today, and then I can kind of happily put this flight behind me, although this has been a very, very good flight from an experience point of view.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, maybe a short delay for the clearance Moorabbin sequence, if able, suggest you reduce by 20 indicated to assist with that.
Hey, firm, we can slow down here, Yankee Zulu.
Okay, Yankee Zulu.
So I've slowed us down by about 20 knots. I've just lifted the nose a little bit as well in the descent. We were coming down at 700 feet per minute, but I've got us just shallowed out at about 500 feet per minute.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, good to see you back solo again. Contact Moorabbin Tower for your onwards, identification terminated.
Appreciate that, and over to Moorabbin Tower for clearance. Okay, Yankee Zulu, see ya. Moorabbin Tower, Yankee Zulu approaching Bay West on descent 2,400, inbound with Sierra visual.
Yankee Zulu, Moorabbin Tower, continue direct to the field, report crossing the coast.
Continue direct and report the coast, okay, Zulu. Okay.
Yankee Zulu, actually change our plan, descend not below 1,500 visually, overfly the field, contact tower overhead, 118.1.
Descend not below 1,500 overhead and then 118.1, echoing Zulu. Okay, so we're not quite there yet. Instead of getting into 35 left, maybe they're getting us into 35 right. Moorabbin Tower, echoing Zulu, overhead 1,500.
Echo Yankee Zulu, Moorabbin Tower. Continue eastbound at 1,500.
Continue eastbound 1,500, echoing Zulu. They're probably going to give me a wide arc to come in behind some other traffic.
Okay, Yankee Zulu, cleared visual approach, join mid downwind runway 31 right. and follow a diamond on a 3 mile final.
Cleared visual approach, runway 31 right, and we'll look out for the diamond. Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, clear to land and you can roll through if you like.
Clear to land with the roll through, Echo Yankee Zulu, thank you.
Traffic, 1 o'clock,
Hey.
safe altitude.
And we're back home.
After landing, I went round to the other side of the airport to see if I could see what had actually caused the airport to be shut down. And as you can see, it's this small trainer aircraft that seems to have had some kind of incident when it was coming into land. I'm not going to comment on the pilot, and there's no official report that's come out, so I'm also not going to speculate on what might have caused this. And I think as aviators, it's really important that we don't jump to conclusions, especially immediately after an incident has happened. Today for me was a real testament into how the training and systems, when they're followed, work really, really well. I'm really grateful to everybody in air traffic control, everybody on the ground at the airport, and all the other pilots up there who simply followed their training, followed the procedures, and when something like this out of the ordinary happened, just relied on calm and confident troubleshooting, and ultimately everybody got home safely at the end of the day. Okay, let me be honest with you here. If my objective was to land at one of those 3 airports that I said at the beginning of this video, then today's flight was an absolute fail. Even if my objective was just to add one more airport here in Victoria to my list of airports that I've never landed at before, again, today was an absolute fail. I landed once and it was back here at my home airport in Moorabbin. But if my objective from this pointless goal that I set myself was to have a bit of fun and enjoy some aviation, and also to learn something new, especially as I'm getting back into flying after having a couple of years off from it, then I don't think I could have asked for a better flight than the one that I had today. Thank you as always for watching. Do click on subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me to see the channel grow. Give us a like if you enjoyed that. Otherwise, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.